Hello again. This is Malkuth again.
And Rodarius.
Alright, we're here with you to talk a little bit about boffer creation. Now, the thing is, there are a lot of great videos out there on how to create a boffer. And what we're going to do is just go over just the barest essentials of what you need and just go over a simple boffer design. And boffers can range from looking just like dirt to looking fabulous with just a few materials. But like I said, we're just going to go over the basic design of one. First off, for your basic design, you're going to need good old-fashioned PVC pipe. Now, what you're going to want to get in whatever size you choose is Schedule 40. This indicates the thickness of the pipe, and you're going to want a good, sturdy core. So, this particular piece right here is a 1/2 inch example. And 3/4 inch is good as well. We found that the 1/2 inch creates a much lighter blade, while 3/4 inch creates a heavier blade, but it depends on your personal style on what you want to do. So first off, you're going to prep your core. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of duct tape and you're going to put it over the end of this. And then you're going to fold it. And you're just trying to create something that's a barrier between the edge of the PVC pipe and what we'll be putting on there later, the foam pieces. So you're going to want to do a thing of duct tape on the end. And then just to be safe, we took some electrical tape and made sure that the duct tape held. We did it for the other end as well. Once you have this, you're going to run a lateral strip of duct tape across this. You're going to need to do 2 of them to cover the entire piece of the pipe. Now what the duct tape is there for, if under some strange circumstance your sword were to break, then the duct tape in theory is supposed to keep the pieces from exploding everywhere and killing women and children and such. Some people claim they've seen it happen. But in any event, it's a good safety precaution to have because safety is always paramount whenever you are doing anything active. So, once you've run your lateral pieces of duct tape and covered the entire thing, then you can get on to the next step. The next step involves pipe foam. Once again, this is just your barest boffer. You know, nothing fancy to it, just your bare essentials. We've got some examples back here. 3/4 inch, and then 1 inch. And on the whole, you're going to be doing 2 layers. The first layer, you're going to take your 3/4 inch, which will fit on 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch for the most part. You might have to find different sizes and everything, but...
That pipe. No, that wall. You know I got tape.
There's a little bit of room, but no worries.
Just some electrical tape right around. Gets it nice.
And you're going to want to do this tight because this will keep the foam from slipping as you're fighting with it. Then further down the blade at a midpoint, wrap another tight piece. But one thing about cutting the pipe foam is at the very end of it, where the tip of the PVC pipe is, you're going to want to leave about 1 inch of just nothing but pipe foam. This is called your thrusting tip. This is what will absorb a lot of damage whenever you thrust at someone, because even though it's covered in foam, if there's a solid backing to it, it will still hurt. So, you will tape the end, but not where the thrusting tip is going to be. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take what some people call a snail, which is essentially just another piece of pipe foam that you cut a small piece of and cut it down to size. That's all that this is. And then you roll it up and you shove it in the thrusting tip portion. Then what you will do is take some electrical tape and cover the end of it. Now this will create your first layer. Once again, leaving yourself enough room for a handle. Once you have your first layer down, you're going to go to your 1-inch piping. And this is going to create your second layer. And you'll notice that it doesn't fit all the way around. So you'll need to do what's called cutting a seam. You're just going to take another piece of 1-inch pipe foam, and you're going to cut a section that will fit neatly into here in order to cover it. Once you've done that, then you'll once again do a heavy electrical taping of the handle, once again to keep the foam from slipping. Then you're going to come up to the top and wrap it in electrical tape as well as you did with the first one, wrapping the tip semi-tight. And then what you will do is you can go two different ways. You can use electrical tape or duct tape. Both work. We found that electrical tape, if you do a loose wrapping of it, it does not create the hard edges that duct tape does, the scratching points, and it turns out a lot nicer. But what you'll do is you'll take the electrical tape and you'll wrap it around you will not wrap it tight. You'll wrap it enough to keep it in place. The tape is there essentially to protect the foam. So you're just going to take strips of electrical tape and you're going to run it around lightly. Now,
You can do lateral strips of duct tape.
yes, you
It
can.
works okay.
If you're using duct tape, you can run lateral strips.
I don't suggest going around it with duct tape. That
We've found that if you run around it, you run the risk of creating more of those sharp, pointy edges that duct tape is notorious for. While it's not going to kill anybody, at the same time, it's a scratchy surface, and if you get bare skin, it may leave some red marks. So, from this point, all you need to do is create a pommel on it. And what you'll do there is essentially like what you did for the top. You're going to cut a piece of foam, maybe about 2 or 3 inches, and you're going to slide it onto the end of this. You're going to put another snail in the end, and then electrical tape that to the handle. Now we've got a few examples of swords, and this is where you can just let your imagination go, because you can accomplish a lot with just these things. I've seen some very beautiful swords made out of just duct tape and just very cheap foam, and they look wonderful. So, I mean, there's no reason you can't have a good weapon if you put the time and effort into it. This right here is just a 30-inch core, and it's got lateral strips of duct tape, and this right here is a handguard made out of blue camp foam. We'll talk about blue camp foam later, but it's a very good friend in your LARPing endeavors. Notice that I have the pommel on here. And you can move up to something like the cutlass here. Once again, blue foam is the handle here. And it's just your imagination at work. And in this example, we have the spiraling strips of electrical tape. Creates a nice smooth look. And both of these are great examples of just simple boffer weapons. These are not your elaborate latex and rubber weapons that you see everywhere, but they're good to start off on. They cost maybe $5 a piece, if that. And that's really stretching it. Because your Schedule 40 PVC pipe you can score for probably about $1.28 for a 10-foot section. That can create a few swords.
about 3, depending on what sizes you got.
Depending on your lengths, or you can create one big sword. Once again, it's up to you to determine what you want. These are just base materials and supply you with just the beginnings of what you can do as far as LARP is concerned. So, thank you for your time, and we will talk to you later. I'm Malkuth.
And Rodarius.
Take care.